Welcome to Arkansas, where the pay is low and the gas is high. Just want to check in with your family, Black Feniks, the owner of HogOn Welding and the founder of the HogOn University. I just want to talk to you a bit about the prices in Arkansas. I just went renewed one of my bottles, actually traded it in and got another one. I thought I was going to have to buy a bottle, but just so happened that this company actually honored the bottle that I had. That was actually some complications for me. I'm not going to lie to you. I couldn't understand why we couldn't just switch them out. There was the ones I called around was actually almost like I had to buy another one, but just so happened Air Gas bought the company out that I was actually networking with in Georgia. Now, I want to throw some numbers out there real quick. This same large 75-25 gas bottle, argon carbon dioxide, in Georgia runs about $56. I called them today just to make sure that was the price in Columbus. And here, for the same bottle, I spent $84 plus tax for the same bottle. And actually, this is through Air Gas. So I don't know if it's just Air Gas that's higher or it's just the prices in general that's higher. But I'm not going to lie to you. It caught me off guard. I'm like, man. And the guy said something that caught me off guard. That's why I made that title. He said, welcome to Arkansas, where the pay is low and the prices are high. So I had to say, man, he for real about that, because it was kind of, ridiculous, man. That's good. Salute, salute. Thanks for checking in, man. Actually, going to school for welding is a good occupation right now. I really think that with the way things are set up with the construction, man, it's a good way to go right now, bro. You know what? It's crazy because construction is where it's at. There will always be great needs for construction. There will always be jobs for construction. There will always be opportunities because we're always repairing, rebuilding, and starting over, and repairing, rebuilding, and starting over. We're always doing the reconstruction in America. So with construction, I think it's always going to be a plus. That's why I like field welding. I always like to say field welding is a shop welding. I love shop welding. I love both. I love to fabricate. I love to install, but I like to be in the field too. And one thing about the field is a lot of people can actually build things in the shop, but it takes a selective few who can actually go out in the field and do it. And I like both. I kind of had a talent at both, so I enjoyed going out in the field. So I think it's a great opportunity for those who want to do construction. I think it's where it's at. Construction, if you Google construction right now, they make a lot of money. They are in the top 5 percentile of businesses that makes a lot of money in America in this construction. So think about that. You got construction, you got food, you got healthcare, you know what I mean? You got insurance, and it is what it is. So if you're thinking about jumping into it, I most definitely think it is a great, great, great career. So if you're learning, I would say be flexible. Learn. If you don't know, someone asked me the other day about, there's 4 processes of welding. You got stick welding, you got MIG welding, and you got flux core, then you got TIG welding. Out of the 2, if you had to pick 2 out of the 4, I would say, MIG and stick welding are most definitely going to be open up doors always, and flux core, which MIG, to me, saying MIG and flux core is a different process, but it's the same gun, so it's kind of the same, but it's not. Okay, you're in the Atlanta area. You know what? That's a good area for you, bro. It's a good area. I was actually out there. Like I say, that's why I had to say something about this, because I had to call Georgia to verify some prices. And that's why I was just coming from this time, was leaving Columbus, Georgia, coming here to Arkansas. I'm in McGee, Arkansas, in my hometown right now. And prices are here are higher. Like the gas, even, I want to say unleaded is like, where I'm at in this town is like 320 just for the unleaded, or 320 something. And I believe in Mississippi, where I be going to Greenville, it was still 290 something, 290 something, maybe 280 something like that, 290 something probably. But it's a big difference. And the pay here, it isn't like extreme pay. So it's like That's one thing that Arkansas most definitely reminds me of, and I can never get this out of my mind. It's a good old boy state, and they connect their own so hard. They make sure all of theirs are taken care of, and they'll try to squeeze out anything that keeps them from keeping a strong network. And to me, I think that's probably why there isn't a union in Arkansas. It's more of a right to work state where they can just give you what they want to give you. You know what I'm saying? And you don't like it, go find something else. Build your own. Hey, do that. We all with that. You know, once you make it, then we'll salute you. You know what I mean? But hey, until then, it's just what it is. So that's why I learned that before I came back to Arkansas, I knew I had to find out a way to build my own independence. If it was through products, through teaching, through education, because I know it's a good old boy state. And especially for an African American, a black male that who has a record, who's been to prison, as a felony, in this state, it's going to be hard for you. You know, they'll say a lot, but you can only get certain jobs. So, but one thing that I do love about the welding field, the construction field, construction always embraces what they call the outcasts, uh, the rejects, the felons. You know, they always eject those who have rough lives. Normally, you'll see them in the construction field, but they be real good at what they do, from electricians to carpenters to pipe fitters to welders to engineers to millwrights. You know, iron workers. You know, most of us have had a rough life that be in that field and real good at what we do. So I have met many people who have who I guess the world would say are degenerates that actually dominate in the construction field. But I just want to talk to you, man, about Arkansas and these prices. So just be aware of where you at. No matter where you go in life, you got a up and a down. You gonna have a good and a bad. And in Arkansas, most definitely, it is a place that caters to the good old boy system. It's just what it is. If you look at some of the big companies that's here in Arkansas, you'll be surprised. And everybody network together. You know what I mean? So you can be independent here, and you can make it, but it's harder. It's almost like it almost even like even your people here don't really network with you a lot. You know what I mean? From what I have noticed in certain areas, you know what I mean. You almost have to camouflage your business, and I said that before, to network here. But that's one thing that I learned about Arkansas. It is a good old boy state. Most definitely, it is that. I wouldn't say that it's not a pretty place to stay, because it is a nice place to live. Taxes, certain costs of living can be very affordable in certain towns. You got smaller towns, so there's a lot of nice size certain cities. And you know, if you do the math, certain cities actually the cost of living is kind of like being in a big city like Fayetteville. The cost of living is higher. You know, certain spots in Little Rock, certain spots in Jacksonville or surrounding areas of the metro area. So you know, but I would say this: being a welder can open up many doors for you. But if you're in a small area, you have to find your independence, and that's why I stress product over talent. And my goal now is to use the years of experience that I have gained from field welding, from shop welding, from fabrication, from installing, and teaching it now to the youth, and teaching it now to those who are younger than me or my age that actually want to jump into the field and start a new career and a different direction for themselves. So that's why I enjoy teaching welding education, because I feel like it brings a lot of awareness to our people, and especially for those who want to start over. Man, there's so much you can do with welding. So I just feel like if you have never jumped into the field, you know, from fabricating to installing, to mill writing, to creating products, engineering something, there's so much you can do. So there's so many ways you can go with welding. But just wanted to state for my welders that in Arkansas, we have to network and be cautious. So I will say this: a lot of the material you have to get for your welding shops and stuff, you know, it's kind of hard to network with certain mom and pop spots, only because they charge you so much for certain things, and it's actually more affordable for you to market and network online. So keep that in line. When you're in a area where you got a good old boy system, it's going to be better 9 times out of 10 for you to network and get certain things outside that market to bring it in to you, because that's what they do too, and they charge you a lot for it. So you just have to learn how to create your own independence and use the majors. I love to say this: use those who are bigger than you to figure out what direction you want to go in, and how to do it. You don't have to do it just like them, but they forming a blueprint. So if you can use that to your advantage to form your independence, do it. You know what I mean? So pay attention to what's going on in your local areas and look at what's going on in big corporations and LLCs to reform or reframe or to analyze the way you do things versus how they do things to form you a new network or a new way of doing it that actually work. You know what I mean? So sometimes we try to recreate the wheel, and I would say that you're just going to waste a lot of time trying to recreate the wheel. A lot of times it's better to try to figure out how the wheel is rolling and maybe add some accessories to it, or be able to figure out the way it's rolling to get a wheel rolling on your own. So there's many ways to do it, family, but I just wanted to come in real quick because it kind of caught me off guard spending so much for this bottle here. You know, as you see, it's like a $30 increase versus, you know, Georgia. And I won't say the cost of living, though. I would say this, though, now that I think about it. In Arkansas, the minimum wage right now is $11, I believe. Yes, it's $11. So if the minimum wage in Arkansas is $11, I think the minimum wage in Georgia is still under $8. I think it's actually the federal minimum, which is $7.25. It might be over 75, but it's under $8. Now they probably trying to get it up, but last time I checked, I believe it was under $8. I have to check again, but I believe so. So, you know, in different areas, the cost of living also controls and dictates the way that you network, you know what I mean, and get things. And then certain areas is booming. So do your homework. But I will say this, welding is a field that can take you many places, family. So keep an open eye. You know, if you are someone that's just not about to jump into it, figure out what lane you want to get in. You know, you have the non-spark, you have the sparks, you have the flames, you have the cutting, you have different things that you have to get into. So figure out what it is you like and use it to your advantage, man. Educate yourself all as you can, whatever area you're in. There's a lot of programs, different areas. I have noticed that if you do a lot of research, you can find something affordable or something close to you. You might have to move around. A lot of times you got to get a few hours outside of where you at to make something happen, and that's cool. So most definitely keep your eyes open to make something happen in a different area. But just wanted to say I'm back in Arkansas now for those who are in Arkansas or surrounding and actually want to network with me on getting some independent welding. You can hit me up on the business line at 870-501-1974. That's 870-501-1974. Also, my email is HogOn2017@gmail. That's HogOn2017@gmail. And the website is HogOnWelding.com. That's www.HogOnWelding.com. Appreciate y'all for checking in. And also for those who've been wanting to get the gear, because I had a few people asking, man, I want a zip hoodie or a regular hoodie or a t-shirt or whatever. Hit up Amazon, put in HogOn hoodie, HogOn Welding hoodies, zip hoodies, t-shirt, whatever, and it should pop up. And then once it does, hit the brand. It should be highlighted in blue, and it should show you all the stuff that we have there, all the t-shirts, all the gear, everything you can get. And most of it, right, like I say, right now, you can get it all primed, so it's going to come in a reasonable time. You know, within a week, you'll get your gear. So for those who want to get their hog on with me, shop on Amazon. We do appreciate your time. Y'all continually be blessed and prosper out there. Be safe. Hog on.